Since 1994, Rwanda has been governed by a regime that requires our urgent attention. The narrative often presented is one of a remarkable recovery and unity, but beneath the surface lies a truth many choose to ignore. The Rwandan Patriotic Front, or RPF, led by Paul Kagame, has established a system that mirrors historical totalitarian regimes like Stalin's Soviet Union or Hitler's Nazi Germany. Kigali spends vast sums of money to whitewash its image, to manipulate history, and to appear as a responsible government. Yet, it has crushed all internal dissent and has become a dangerous force in the Great Lakes region of Africa. Since its invasion of Rwanda in 1990, the RPA, the armed wing of the RPF, and various armed groups that it created in the Democratic Republic of Congo have been responsible for the death of millions of Rwandans and Congolese people. The RPF seized power by force, exploiting the 1994 genocide as a pretext. They claim sole credit for stopping the genocide in Rwanda, a narrative that conveniently omits their own role in the 1990-1994 Rwandan War and assassination of two presidents, an event widely recognized as the trigger of the genocide. Despite numerous international reports of human rights abuses, the Kigali regime continues to operate globally. They engage in sport washing, collaborating with renowned teams and personalities to improve their image. These partners, however, often overlook the brutal repression of political opponents and critics that define the country to focus on economic gains. The RPF tactics are disturbingly familiar. We can see them in 6 key strategies. First, authoritarian control and suppression of dissent. Rwanda functions as a de facto one-party state. Opposition figures face imprisonment, exile, or worse. Laws against genocide ideology and divisionism silence critics, much like Nazi criminalization of anti-regime speech. Human Rights Watch and Amnesty International have documented pervasive surveillance, arbitrary detentions, and torture. The government controls the narrative of the 1994 genocide, suppressing any discussions that challenge the official story. Second, a powerful cult of personality and propaganda. Paul Kagame is meticulously portrayed as a heroic liberator. Mandatory national sanitation days and youth militarization programs similar to Hitler's youth indoctrination solidify this image. The regime fosters a cult where loyalty to Kagame is synonymous with national unity. Third, expansionism and ethnic policies. In 2023, the president of the DRC explicitly compared Kagame to Hitler, accusing him of expansionist aims. UN reports and the US have corroborated Rwandan backing for the M23 group, which has displaced millions in eastern DRC. This is likened to Nazi invasions for Lebensraum. Fourth, the manipulation of historical trauma to justify rule. The RPF invokes the 1994 genocide to legitimize strict controls, similar to how Nazis exploited post-World War I grievances. Laws banning genocide ideology are defended as preventing recurrence but are criticized as tools to stifle debate. Fifth, an economic mirage portrayed to attract foreign investments. Despite being a poor country reliant on external aid, Rwanda projects itself as an economic model. This is a strategic ploy to promote Kigali and other tourist destinations while the population remains impoverished and exploited. These investments, sadly, contribute to strengthening Kagame's brutal regime. And sixth, youth indoctrination and well-organized propaganda. The Rwandan government heavily relies on a sophisticated propaganda machine with youth as key contributors. They even created a ministry, Minubumwe, exclusively for propaganda, tasked with hiding truth and replacing it with lies. Criticizing Kagame is an unforgivable offense. As the narrative dictates, Rwanda would not exist without him. These manipulations serve one chilling purpose: to maintain power and evade accountability for horrific war crimes. The world must recognize its responsibility. Paul Kagame and the RPF pose a significant danger to peace in East Africa. The region has endured war crimes and genocide, yet far too little has been said about Kagame's role. Some European leaders continue to support him, a profound shame. History will remember how the world ignored the African Great Lakes tragedy for economic and geopolitical gains. The destiny of Africa, particularly this troubled region, rests in the hands of those with the courage to tell Paul Kagame to cease his destructive actions. So far, they have ignored the undeniable truth. Kagame is a criminal, a mass murderer, a warlord, and a traitor to his country, a disgrace to humankind for the innocent civilians and children he has slaughtered. It is time the world saw the terrible truth about Rwanda.